Hello, I'm Reza Tajaddini, the Major Discipline Coordinator of Finance and Course Director of Master of Financial Planning at Swinburne University. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Dale Barratt, a Senior Private Client Advisor at UniSuper. Dale has continuously worked with the wealth management sector since 1999 and has been with UniSuper since 2015. Dale, great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Could you please speak about the importance of personal super contribution? I know many people who are advocates of this strategy and some people disagree with voluntary super contribution. And we are aware of the government's cap of maximum $25,000 concessional contribution to super funds. What's your intake on this and what are the tax implications of this strategy?
Yeah, good question. Look, regarding concessional super contributions, these are generally taxed at 15% on entry to super, which for many employees is a tax planning benefit compared to their marginal tax rates. Now, so for this reason, one might argue that the government set the concessional cap too low, as you mentioned there, at the present rate of $25,000 for this financial year. And look, whilst that may or may not be true, in my opinion, these concessional contributions in themselves aren't really the silver bullet. You know, really, rather the key to growing wealth to fund one's retirement is actually making regular contributions, both concessional and non-concessional, over a long period of time. I mean, in other words, you know, whilst tax planning, of course, is important, enabling compound interest to work its long-term magic is more so.
Okay, so even if you have to pay the tax on concessional contribution, you advise that that is still a wise decision to make.
Well, certainly for many people, like all things, there are exceptions, but certainly for many people, it's a worthy consideration.
Excellent, thank you. The next question is about the Royal Commission. Since the introduction of the Royal Commission into banking, superannuation, and financial service industry, there's been significant changes in the financial advice sector. Briefly, what do you see as the sector's key challenges at the present time?
Yeah, again, a really good question, and certainly something that's front of mind in the advice sector. And look, certainly there's been a lot of change in the last few years, especially in the areas of, if you like, regulatory compliance and certainly minimum educational standards for advisors. And you know, some of these changes have actually been disruptive to the sector. And a lot of advisors have actually chosen to exit in the last 2 to 3 years. Look, I feel the actual key challenge for the sector is actually transitioning from an industry to a bona fide profession. That in itself has many challenges, and no doubt the sector is going to look significantly different 10 years from here than it is now. Really, though, for advisors, I think the ongoing challenge is having the appetite to adapt to regular change, but whilst continuing to meet the needs of their clients in a complex and also ever-changing environment.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thank you. Okay, and my last question, I'm seeking your advice. As an experienced financial advisor, what's your 2 important pieces of advice for how to approach superannuation during the period of uncertainty, similar to what we experienced in a recent time during the pandemic?
Yeah, look, again, another very good point. Look, the onset of COVID-19, you know, like other trigger events in history, impacted financial markets very quickly and significantly. But what we've also seen in the last 6 to 9 months is that share markets in particular have bounced back quickly as well. So really, you know, what's COVID-19 and, you know, and history for that matter actually taught us again? That's the one is the principle of, if you like, portfolio diversification, of, you know, not putting all of one's eggs in one's basket, just continues to hold true. And secondly, I'd say that you know, seeking to time financial markets, you know, especially during periods of uncertainty like we saw last year, is usually an ineffective long-term strategy. So look, whilst it's tempting to preempt or respond to market movements in any direction, really patience and holding a long-term view generally produces better outcomes.
Excellent. So patience. Thanks so much, Dale, for your time today. I'm 100% sure that our viewers benefited from the advice you provided. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.